Good morning. Good morning. There's nothing like Black love coming together in economic ventures that are designed to benefit all of us. So I'm excited to have you on today. Paula, let's start with you. The Melanated Bar, give us the history. How did you start this entity and why did you think it was important to do so?
Oh, when people ask me this question, it's always like, how did you really get into skincare? Like, does that really tie in to each other? But I just had my second daughter and I was just like really, really in a dark space. I didn't have any type of outlet to, really just love on me and be like the best mom that I can. So yoga wasn't accessible for me. It wasn't really big on YouTube at that point anyways. I couldn't just get out the house and go buy a Starbucks or, whatever drink because I didn't have that much money. So I'm just like, what else can I possibly do to, make me feel better about myself and make me a better mom? So essentially, I'm like, well, what can I do right now? And the first thing that came to my mind was like, I could work on my body and my skin. At that time, a lot of people don't know when after you have a baby, your skin can be dry from all the hormone fluctuations going up and down. My skin was blotchy. So I'm like, well, if I feel good and look good, then that's just going to help transform everything else. So I just started looking through the products that have all these harmful ingredients in it. I threw away everything. When I say everything, I mean everything in the shower went into the trash and I bought coconut oil and some essential oil off of Amazon and was like, okay, this is what I'm going to start with. So I just started mixing products and I really just saw the change that it did for my skin. And fast forward like a year later, I'm on Etsy, of course, selling the products. And my mom looked at me and she's like, you really should consider like really turning this into a business, like a true business. And after she said that is when I really was like, you know what, if this really helps me pull myself out of like a dark space, I know that it can help other women do the same, not only mentally, but like just increase the health of their skin as well.
Mm. A lot of people don't realize that all that happens when we are pregnant, right? I mean,
Yes.
Lord have mercy. But I know everyone talks about you're glowing, and yeah, but I'm also acne filled, right? Like I might be
Exactly.
glowing, but I'm breaking out. I've got eczema patches, so I'm glad you see the glow. All I see are the faults, and you noted that this was something that came to you after you had your child. So in addition to the physical changes that our bodies are going through, the emotional trauma that can happen as a result, and even if you have a fantastic pregnancy, a wonderful delivery,
Exactly.
postpartum is real, and those emotions floating through your body also can contribute to some of the physical ways in which our skin struggles after birth. It's not just shedding hair and all those things that can happen, but we also see this reflected in our skin as well. Now, Paula, did you have a background in skincare? How did you develop the understanding of the science behind what products might be better for face as opposed, the skin under the eyes is a little different than the skin on the cheeks. How did you get the information that would help you to move from, oh, this is good for me, to being able to sort of standardize products that are now available for all of us?
Yes, so I actually do not have a degree in like chemistry. I went to SIUE and I got a degree in psychology and a minor in business.
Wow.
I did not think I was going to use either degree for the business, but it did come in handy. For the most part, what I did was I did a lot of research. I did a lot of test and trial. I gave a lot of products away to family members and friends to, use these products to see how it does treats their skin. The biggest thing that I've also done was work with a professional chemist in the recent years, and
Wow.
they really helped me take my business from like that kitchen DIY brand to an actual established, my products are lab tested brand. So now, if a Target or Sephora or Ulta was to reach out to me, for these documents, I now have all of those things. So the biggest thing was just, research. Google is one of your best friends. YouTube is one of your best friends, and the library. Like I was literally in the library looking up books about herbs and botanicals and different things that can just increase the healthiness of your skin.
Wow, that is significant, and particularly one of the things that really attracted me to your story was the fact that you are now a couple approaching this together. Chris, welcome to the show. How did you get involved in this? What were your first thoughts when your beautiful wife, mom of two beautiful young babies, was like, "I'm doing skincare"? Like, how did that land for you?
So two different moments. First thoughts would have been when we were in St. Louis after she had Paige and she started testing ingredients, right? I was trying natural deodorant and things like that at some point. And I never did I have any idea what was going on, but kind of was just going with the flow. And so that was a 2 year time gap between that and when I started helping her. We were living in Florida. It's when she was basically taking it from, just a DIY Etsy shop into a new platform where she moved to Shopify. She started keeping track of inventory. I think I was sitting around one day watching TV and she needed help, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to help you." Right. And I think I was just folding boxes at that point. Right. And so slowly, within another 2 years, right, I went from learning, from the very basics to where she is now and was able to kind of help out in the areas that she needed help. Right. If I was able to free up her time, then she was able to go on to do the next thing as I was learning the previous things.
Okay, so this really is a collective effort. And now I just got to pause here. I see a number of you are calling now to have a conversation about racism. Thanks for waiting to the end of the segment, audience. You guys do this to me every single time. I will get to your calls, Jerry, and the rest of you who I'm looking at, but you're going to have to give me a minute because we are now in another conversation, and I want to really explore this because one of the things that attracted me as well, Paula, you have this segment of your website that's dedicated to turmeric, and you talk a lot about the natural ingredients that you're using in your products. Give us a sense as to how it was those library visits and studying botanicals, because quite frankly, there's a lot of skincare products that are not necessarily rooted in an herbal approach to the ingredients that they're using. Give us a sense as to what attracted you to using some of the more natural elements that were found in nature. I'm a huge nature fan. As a part of your product base.
Yes, so I decided that I didn't really want to use a lot of let's say lab-made chemicals in my products. I mean, the ones I have to use is preservatives. Mainly because if you look back at the history of Black people, even going back to even now in Africa, a lot of the skincare traditions is called skin bleaching, skin whitening creams. And Black people use these products for two reasons. One, out of desperation to lighten their skin and be more acceptable in society. And then the second reason is that a lot of Black women are plagued with hyperpigmentation. These are dark spots on the skin that can be caused from pregnancy. It can be caused from the sun. It could be caused from like your diet, and just inflammation of acne is one of the largest ones. But going back to the history of these products being pushed on the African American community, I knew that I did not want to use any product that can cause any type of confusion with my customers. I wanted them to know that it's okay, to still love your complexion, but also we can help fix these dark spots, like with natural ingredients like turmeric. So I just started to experiment with turmeric, seeing how much I can use before it like turns the skin orange, or, how much can I use to actually be effective. So I just started making a bunch of different products with it. They have all shown to have like great, remarkable results. Like if anybody goes to my website, Instagram, Facebook, like you will see viral. Like I don't even understand why these before and afters have not went viral. Results from just using turmeric products. And right now it's a lot of craze between a lot of these different acids, for example, kojic acid. And there are a lot of people that's just pushing kojic. But what they don't know is that long-term use of kojic can really do more damage to your skin. And that's something that I just wasn't willing to risk to use in my products, simply because my products are made to be used throughout time. They're never going to stop working. So once you stop using my turmeric bar, your skin is still going to look great and healthy. It's not going to flare up because you stopped. Unlike with these other ingredients, if you stop using it, your skin is going to return to that same condition that it was in, if not worse. Wow. So that's why I decided to take a more herbal approach in my skincare products.
So the name, the Melanated Bar, and you all can learn more about them at themelanatedbar.com, or myshopify.com rather. Why the Melanated Bar?
So my dad actually helped me come up with that name.
Come
it
on,
was
Dad.
right after I had my second daughter, Paige. I don't remember how we got stuck on bar, but I was like, I want something to do with melanin. I want people to know like these products are essentially created for us in a world where bad products are pushed to us. Like if you go into a local beauty supply or a store in like a predominantly Black community, you're going to find a lot of crap. You're going to find a lot of products on the shelf that, yeah, it may clean your skin, but if you look at a lot of the ingredients in it, they're endocrine disruptors. They mess with your ovaries. They can cause infertility, thyroid issues, which Black people deal a lot with anyways. And I just was like, I want a safe product that can become a household name for the Black community, from hand soap to dishwasher tablets. And my dad was like, well, let's just not close you in with skincare from the jump. Let's make it more like where the Black people could come and have a good time. So we came up with the name, the Melanated Bar, that day, and it has been a huge hit. And I get asked all the time, like, when are you going to change it? Are you going to be more inclusive, or are you going to keep, other people out? I'm like, no, everybody could buy my products. White people, Asian people, I don't care your complexion. You could buy the products because they're all going to work for all skin types as well.
Did you ever have a conversation that the name, the Melanated Bar, might scare people? Because here's something that every time I talk with an entrepreneur and they are targeting the Black community, one of the challenging conversations that they have to have with themselves and with as a part of their team is, do we want to market ourselves to Black people and in a way that might feel to non-Black people like they are not intended? Did you have any conversation about how the melanated portion of the name might impact non-Black people? And was that ever a concern for you?
I looked at Chris maybe 2 years ago, and I asked him, I don't know, being an entrepreneur is a wild roller coaster. And I guess at this point, like, we were seeing great success, but I was kind of feeling boxed in. And I asked him, I'm like, well, should I change the name? Like, should we explore it so that we can make more money? And he was like, absolutely not. He was like, these big white brand Fortune 500 companies target Black people anyways, unapologetically in commercials every day. So it's like, don't feel bad about you doing the same thing. I do get DMs often from people that aren't Black, and they're like, oh, can I use these products? And I'm always like, yes, absolutely. So right now we're actually trying to find more Asians or anybody that's not of the Black descent to, use our products, to model the products, to review the products, so that we can open up our horizon to other ethnicities as well.
Chris, talk to us, brother. A whole lot of people have a lot of fear about doing what you were encouraging your wife to do. A lot of us are not in a position where we're confident enough that we can focus on meeting our needs and say other people gonna come because like they can they always take our stuff anyway. What was your mindset, and how did you come to a conclusion that many of us kind of shy away from? Not here on this show, but you know what I'm saying. What was it about what your wife was doing and how she was doing it that made you feel confident enough to say, nah, boo, we gonna stay 10 toes down on this one?
So, I mean, as a, African-American business, no matter whether it's liquor, right, with the Sean Combs lawsuit against, De Leon and Ciroc, or a skincare company, we don't want to get marginalized as being, or called urban, right? Because we feel that we don't get to make as much, or we get, we get closed off in this box, and that's the market. You can never say I'm charging $60 for these products, right? You got to stay at 23. What I told her was, because what we have is a family, right? It's not just like we're out here selling these products and we're meeting 1 million people a day, right? We're meeting a few people a day, and our products are just working. And then they repurchase, and then they go, just like Mary Kay, right? They go and they tell the next individual. Right. So, I mean, we branded it, we got everything done. We was able to put all our paperwork together. So, when you have a vision, you see it through. Right. And so if this was ever going to be our limit, right, if we was ever going to be at this limit and we're not supposed to make more, then that'll be the path. And then we branch off and we go look at another way that we can help our community. Right. What's the next step for us? What path are you guiding us on? But, don't derail, don't go a different way, but, go 100% and be all in. But as an African-American company, we're going to have our struggles, but that's when we start showing people what we're made of.
Wow. I wish what you both just said, I wish we could bottle that and just sprinkle it all over the community because there's a strength in being confident in who you are. It's attractive. The idea, somebody told me the other day, or I heard somebody say, repeat a quote, that there's nothing more attractive on the planet than confidence. And being confident in who you are and the power of your community, that to me is absolutely amazing, which is perhaps one of the reasons why you are a beautiful couple. And I'm just glad that you're doing what you're doing. We actually have some folks on the line who want to ask you some questions. Let's go to Sean in California, who is a first-time caller.
Mama made it.
Sean, welcome to the show. You are on with our guest today. What questions do you have for the Melanated Bar?
Hey, everyone. Thank you. First time caller, as you mentioned. Love your show, Lurie. Love it, love it, love it.
Thank you.
So my question is, I have a teenage son and teenage daughter. They are always trying all sorts of skincare stuff that they see on social media, TikTok, all of this, and my son is always complaining that his skin is messed up because, you know, he'll try something one week, he'll try something else the next week, and then something else the following week. I wanted to know if your products are safe for our melanated kids as well.
Yes. So my 6-year-old and my 9-year-old actually use our products. They wash their face and moisturize every day before going to school because we do not do crusty. And, you know, it just helps with good health of the skin. As for them buying products off of TikTok and trendy things, just encourage them to just think twice about what they put on their skin. Because a lot of people don't do thorough research about what they put in their products. They just wake up and they see somebody making it. And so now they decide they're going to make it as well. As for jumping from product to product as well, let them know that it takes at least 60 days to see a difference in your skin. So you may want to switch products if you don't see overnight results, but you're not going to ever see overnight results. So tell them to take their time. You know, don't jump from product to product, let their skin heal and let the products do the work. I highly recommend them checking out the website. We have a skincare box called the Melanated box where you can curate your own routine. It comes with, you could pick your own soap based off your skincare needs, your own toner off your skincare needs, and your own moisturizer. Literally a 3-for-1 box that they could build their own and they could start their skincare journey with us.
Okay,
Lastly, I want to say, I want to say patch test. So no matter what products you use, you always want to patch test it, you know, on a piece of your body or skin somewhere. See how it reacts right before you go all in, no matter what product it is and who you're buying it from. Always patch test those products first.
And when you say patch test, you mean just using it on a small portion of your skin, so that if it goes bad, you ain't destroyed your whole face. You just have this little part. Right. Okay. Got it. I'm on your website right now. Beautiful website, by the way. And again, it's themelanatedbar.myshopify.com. And I'm about to put one of these boxes together because I too have a teenager who is concerned about what's happening with his skin. And so when you guys are engaging in your plans about expansion and where you want to move as it pertains to how you want to grow the company, what's next for you both?
So right now, I would say the biggest thing for us is to gain more machinery to help us increase our output. Right now, we are still making a lot of products in smaller batches, and we aren't able to really keep up with all of the demand that people want. So right now, our processing times are thankfully only 3 to 5 business days. Starting off, they were literally 7 to 12 business days. So we were able to cut that time down. So the biggest thing is just getting the machines to help us create more products, but still at the same efficient, great fresh way that we make our smaller batches as well. And then also the website it's just themelanatedbar.com. Shopify does weird things sometimes. And I don't know why they push it out there, but yep, just themelanatedbar.com.
Okay, no, that's very important because we want to make sure we send people to the right location.
Oh, absolutely.
So when we're thinking about, if let's say I have maybe my T-zone is a little oily, but otherwise I'm not really dealing with a whole lot of facial issues, what product would you recommend for someone who just wants a good cleanser, a good moisturizer, toner? Give us a sense as to which products would apply to someone with those types of facial concerns.
Yes. So one of our most popular combinations on the website is our turmeric bar, and then it is our WWB toner, and it is our rosehip oil. I know a lot of people hear oil and they go crazy, like, I'm not putting no oil on my skin. Like, my skin is already oily. I like to tell people all you need is 1 to 3 drops. And in all honesty, if your skin is oily, a lot of times it's actually dehydrated. So I always recommend adding 1 to 3 drops of oil to your face as soon as you're done cleansing. That way you can tell your body, hey, chill out. The skin has oil. I don't need your help. Don't push it to the surface. I got it handled. And that's how you
Wow.
solve the oily skin issue.
Wow. We're in a time right now where there's a lot of pressure coming against Black entrepreneurs. A lot of folks saying you don't need additional funding, you don't need additional capital, particularly if it's going to be capital just for Black people. We're
Yeah.
seeing a whole bunch of business support programs, responding to some lawsuits recently. Chris, I'd like to toss this question to you. How are you all together going to grapple with that? This idea that perhaps we don't need to invest as much in Black-owned businesses, particularly Black women businesses. We've seen groups like the Fearless Fund come under a lot of attack. How are you planning to navigate what feels to me, and I could be totally wrong about this, but it feels to me like a drying up of capital and investment opportunities? The George Floyd guilt money is no longer flowing the way it used to. I hate to call it that, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
How are you all navigating this new political, economic environment that so many Black businesses are having to grapple with?
I saw one event that occurred, which was just yesterday, and that was Honey Pot co-signing its new partnership deal, right?
Yeah.
So seeing events like that occur is the reason why we get up and do what we do every day. Like, we know we're going to get told no 1,000 times, no matter the industry, the business, the capital, the fund. But when you do see someone who's out here trying, and you keep going, because we're out here working and we're traveling, we're at the same expos, it makes us keep going. And so I want to congratulate them. But that is something that we look at, and we know that there's opportunity out there. It's just about the approach and, the way you keep going.
And to add to that,
Yes.
with the lack of capital, we have seen a lot of rejections. I mean, honestly, even with grants, and it's crazy, like, because these grants say they have what, $5-10 million that they want to award, 5 to 7 companies, and we apply all the time for them, and they're just always like, no. And I'm just like, well, where is the money going? Because I have the business. We have all the documents. We show that we are making a wave in this category, and it's still so hard to even access free money. So at this point, I think I have been mentioning to my husband that I think we may need to go more of the fundraiser route. We have a lot of supporters in our community that just want to pour into us, and we have never let them do it. So I think going this year is going to be one of my focuses, to just crowdfund ourselves. We built this business to $1 million on our own. So it's like, it's
Wow.
time to be able to, let somebody else help us without being discouraged that the banks are saying no, because they say no. I mean, my PNC bank that we have literally about $50,000+ in told me no to a business credit card. To a business credit card. So it's time to just take the reins in our own hands, not take no for an answer, and keep striving.